Hey guys, how are you all doing? Welcome to Free Spirit Talks. It has been a couple weeks because we did not have great internet in Belize, and we had the best of intentions to do a Free Spirit.
Best background, the best backdrop there.
Yeah,
it was
so
beautiful.
Nice.
We had a wonderful time.
Yeah,
and
so
you
great.
Missed it.
No.
You missed it.
But we both did our personal videos. You can go watch our personal videos.
You missed it. I'm so sweet these days.
Yeah.
You missed
But
it.
you missed it.
But
It
you
was
missed
beautiful.
It was gorgeous. You missed it. You weren't there.
The weather was much better than it currently is out today.
I don't know about that. We had 15-minute storms.
Okay, but then it went to like gorgeous tropical weather.
It did.
And we were in our swimsuits. Like, come on now. Like, much better than chilly, like 40-degree mornings for.
Yeah, it is kind of cold. It is kind of cold. So, today's topic. That tripod is definitely off balance. Sorry.
I think it's actually how you. Sorry, we're having a girl moment. Are we unbalanced? Some would probably say yes. Either way.
We all know you are, but it's okay.
That's so mean to me. Okay, anyway, well, we're a little
and
bit.
we have extra people.
I
feel like I'm like there's somebody behind me. You know what? Have you seen the movie Us? Oh, you haven't?
No, I haven't because I don't
see
do horror.
Anybody who's seen the movie Us, that's what I'm having an Us moment right now. This is us. I feel like there's like some string.
It's your idea to do the do it with the mirror in the background.
Yeah, it happens.
But it is like two of us.
There's like two of us.
There's actually technically like four of us in the room.
True. 4 of us in a room. 2 of us actually here.
Yes. It's kind of like we've got these different pieces of self.
Different personalities?
Yeah.
Or just different.
We're not showing those personalities back
No,
there.
that's why they have their.
They're turning. Yeah, they're turning.
That's right, because I don't want to be seen. See, that's where I was going with this. Yeah. Now we're on board. Yeah. No. The topic is really on. Not my car keys. Sorry, cleaning up my pockets as we go.
They're a little scattered today.
Scattered. I was grocery shopping.
Kendall, squirrel.
See? Yeah, but you see, at least I'm not hiding pieces of myself.
Yeah.
Just ignore the person behind me.
Yes. And actually, you guys are behind yourselves as well.
They are?
They are. Look.
They are. They're on the other side of this, way over there. We can't even see them.
No.
I now feel old.
They're
I
really
need glasses. I want to go blow it up.
No, they're really hiding. But the topic really is about hiding different pieces of self and not being authentic and not being a whole person, basically. Because, and like these masks we tend to wear, which I know you've talked about a couple times recently in videos, and I actually just put out an article about like the different pieces of us, which is pretty much, it's on a very similar line. But this hiding parts of self and actually really disconnecting from ourselves by this hiding process we all go into so often.
I think that as, you could say, I always go, well, as you mature, you tend to...
That's a load of bull.
As you mature, you stop caring what the rest of the world thinks, and you can just be yourself. And to a degree, that is true.
Yes.
To a degree, as we mature, as we age, we do start to drop out of the fear of perception and criticism and other people's thoughts and opinions.
I think we can. Because I know many a person who has gotten worse in their lives or consistently keeps, no, we must show
It means in
this.
that high school
We must
mentality,
show,
as
we
I
must
recall
show
it.
this to the public. We must, not.
Yeah, it's
I
like
think a family.
it's kind of like
that.
it's the whole I guess you could say like the Stepford wife thing,
Yeah.
where you were presenting this perfect image of everything, and everything's great, and you know your hair's always perfect, and nails are always done, and your house is always perfect, and you're always baking apple pie, and your clothes are always, you know, always perfect, and everything's just perfect.
Yeah. It actually reminds me of, and I don't listen to country music, but Miranda Lambert has a song called Not Your Mama's Broken Heart, and it's about this girl who's like, no, like, times have changed, like, my heart's kind of broken, like, and the mother's like, you know, well, get yourself together, girl, like, you can't be seen like, throwing a fit. Well, that's definitely that Stepford wife kind of situation
You can't
of
reveal
showing
your emotions. You can't reveal that you're going through bad times. You can't reveal that you're going through overly happy times either. You know, either side of the coin is not allowed. You have to just remain in this dull, almost
your life
lifeless.
Can't go well. How dare your life be going better than my life?
But it can't go bad either.
Yeah.
Because if it does go bad, you better not show any evidence of it emotionally or chaos or anything. And none of that is feasible. When we hide at that level, we truly hide from self. I mean, it's like you cannot be in integrity with another human being. You cannot be out of integrity with another human being and be in integrity with yourself. I mean, it's just like, because if you are consistently hiding from all of this out here and from connecting, because that's what it is. Integrity leads to intimacy, which is what we're all going for, which is connection, right?
Yes.
And in order to connect, truly connect, not just go, oh, I touched you. That's not a connection. Or, oh, we're in the same room. Oh, we had this surface level conversation. Did you know that it was raining out today?
Yeah. Weather sucks.
Yeah. Did you get those boxes unpacked?
Yeah.
See, that's not really a deep conversation at all. There's no intimacy. There's no depth. There's no nothing. That was really rude picking up your phone like that. That's also disconnection. I know that you were doing.
I was doing that on purpose. There's nothing on. It was a blank screen. My phone's turned off because that is getting present in the moment with whoever I'm talking to.
I
You,
don't think my
the
phone's
people.
turned off.
Your phone is not turned on. You're being rude right now.
My phone is.
You're using your phone.
I actually don't think I silenced my phone.
So you're right. Yeah, you're right. You can't be.
No, you can't. So I mean, because if we're not true to ourselves, knowing ourselves, and in doing the self-inquiry and the connection, and you know, just really getting right with who we are, what we're feeling, where we're at, you know, at any level, then how are we ever going to be vulnerable enough to actually have integrity with another? I mean, there's no way that I'm going to be more in integrity with you than with myself.
No, because it's not possible. It's not humanly possible to be more in integrity with, because we are only as authentic or as in integrity as we know ourselves. Like we can't give something we don't have yet. We've not uncovered yet. And
that can actually change moment to moment. It can really change moment to moment, because you can be having a conversation with somebody, or you can be having an experience with somebody. You can go into it with one way of viewing, one way of being, and within seconds you can change and expand yourself, learn yourself a little bit more, and go, wow, I never knew that about me. I never realized that. That conversation opened me up to a new level of self. So you might have started out in not being fully in integrity, and then through the conversation, the event, actually discovered things about yourself and got more in integrity.
And as you go, your authenticity can change as well. Like you might be authentically one person and then completely in a 10 minutes.
If
like,
shame or guilt pops up, a lot of the times, what do we do when shame and guilt pops up? There goes our authenticity, because we're going to block instantaneously.
It's too vulnerable.
Block. So yeah,
it's too vulnerable. And we oftentimes will block vulnerability. And sometimes the pieces of ourselves that we like to think, oh, well, we don't want to share these dark, deep pieces. But oftentimes, actually, the pieces of ourselves that we don't let others see are the playful, are the juicy, yummy, excited, goofy, silly. Those pieces of ourselves can be just as difficult at times for us to authentically let other people see.
Well, we have shame wrapped around our joy. We have shame wrapped around our pleasure. We have shame wrapped around our goofiness, especially adults. Adults aren't supposed to be goofy. Aren't supposed to be responsible. Supposed to be right. You're supposed to, have everything in order and be serious and logical. And we give up our full potential by trying to be so logical.
We actually disconnect. What I wrote in my little bleepy article today was actually we disconnect from our soul and our purpose on this earth, because the truth is we can never achieve our soul purpose if we are not a whole person. If we are not continuing to connect with ourselves and connect with ourselves, all pieces of ourselves, not just this tiny little, okay, like I'm going to connect with this piece over here because it's comfortable. That's safe. Not, you'll never actually fully step into your purpose in life.
No. The magic, the miracles, the beauty of life is
joy.
Just right outside of that comfort zone every single time. All the stuff that we want, that we crave, that we want to call in, pushes us to step outside of our comfort zones. And 90+% of the population just refuses to do that, and then sits around and finger points and blames and lives in their pain bodies and just goes, no, well, if this hadn't happened, you just don't understand, blah, 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 blah. She did this to me. Oh, if I hadn't had this happen as a child or in this past relationship or with my health, all of that stuff gets thrown out there, and there's all these reasons, and which are just excuses to not step outside of the comfort zone.
Yeah.
Because we get very comfortable in our misery. We do. We get so comfortable in our misery that we would we a lot of the time opt to stay unhappy instead of pushing ourselves, because that expansion, that new birth of ourself, meeting ourselves, expanding ourselves, learning of ourselves is really, really scary. But it's also exactly where the bliss, where the joy, where the abundance is, where the love that you want to call into your life, where your purpose, everything, it's all there. You see.
Sorry, I'm short. I'm authentically short.
Because you're short.
Sorry. Not sorry, but I'm authentically short. I need a booster seat. Sorry. I authentically need a booster seat.
If I will put a pea or a grain of something underneath your pillow,
I'll be like, ow, that hurts my butt.
So we can just stack up the pillows. How many pillows does it take for you not to feel the grain? You have the pea in.
I'm a little bit of a princess. No, I think it is important. I just said, I am a little bit of a princess. Actually, the other day, somebody messaged me and was like, wow, you think a lot of yourself.
I remember you
and I was like, at first I went, I don't want people to think I think I'm this, person who is just totally into themselves and into themselves only.
Ow. I'm going to do my hair.
But in truth, actually, I had that moment of shame and old programs of don't be,
Yeah.
But then I was like, actually, I am into myself. Actually, I do love myself, and I have worked really freaking hard to love myself, and that is a piece of me.
The reality is if you don't love yourself, how are you ever going to expect somebody else to love you? If you can't spend time with yourself, why would somebody else want to spend time with you?
Yeah.
If you don't know what your likes and your dislikes are, how is anybody else going to know what your likes and dislikes are? If you cannot tell somebody, hey, this is what I need, what I like, what I want, what I desire, and you just leave it up to another to be psychic, have ESP all of a sudden, they're just supposed to be able to read your freaking mind and go, oh, I know you don't know what you want. I had a guy do this one time to me.
I'm about to go.
It was really, really bad. It was really, really bad. But no, yeah, he thought he knew everything. After, 30 minutes of that, I know what you're going to do. Yes, let me tell you all about your deepest, darkest desires and what you want to eat right now. I know, but you don't.
I have people who have known me for years and years and years and years and years, and they still don't know me at that level.
And that's the beautiful thing about
More than myself.
relationship. You know, we get to this way of thinking, and I know that a lot of the time when I'm working with couples, they'll say, well, we are our, oh no, they're my best friends. I know everything about them.
Nope.
And I'm like, no, you don't, because every single day that person and you are changing. We are constantly evolving. We're constantly changing. And if you're not changing, then that means that you basically probably got yourself stuck in a closet someplace. And even then, you're changing because that's doing some psychological stuff on you. And it's just like that, we're always adapting and growing and changing and moving forward in life. So we're always meeting a new person. And if we enter a relationship with the idea of, oh, I wonder who this person is today. Let me inquire with this person today about them, about different things. Let me share some pieces about myself with them. Mm-hmm. And that's where that intimacy is built and that connection is built. And you do learn about each other, but it takes forever to know each other, to truly know each other.
And even at that, like you said, you're always changing. So yeah, you might get like a baseline of, okay, this is kind of who this person is, but there always should be new pieces coming.
Well, the whole thing is that, like, if you're in, especially as women, if you're in a mood one day, and then a week later, and then a week later, somebody brings you, like, one day you're in this mood and you really want cheesecake. I do not want cheesecake. That was just what came to mind. Okay. You really want cheesecake.
Yes.
Okay. And you're just like, all right, she doesn't like cheesecake.
I don't like cheesecake.
And you really want a good cup of coffee.
Okay.
You really want a good cup of coffee.
Yes.
Okay. And then the next day at the same hour, the person who got you the really good cup of coffee just brings you a really good cup of coffee. It's 3:00. You had a cup of coffee yesterday at 3:00.
Actually, I want a glass of wine now.
Maybe you want a glass of wine. Maybe you want a glass of water. Maybe you want nothing. Maybe you want to be left alone. Maybe you're not even there. Maybe you're in a mood. Maybe you want to go take a shower. Maybe you want to take a nap. Maybe you just want to read your book. Maybe you're trying to work. Whatever it is, you might be in and more than likely, you're in a completely different space. And because you're in a different space, your response is going to be different. It doesn't mean that you don't like this. It just means that was good then, but it's not good now.
Yes.
And that's being human. We are
ever changing,
fickle.
Or fickle, ever changing, fickle, whatever.
Fickle, we are, because we change.
We're constantly changing.
We are very fickle. And it's like, we do that with our relationships, with our food, with the things that we enjoy, don't enjoy, constantly.
But what we end up doing is really taking...
I'm glad he got my mental note. I wrote him down on my to-do list today of needing to contact him, and I never got to him. So you see, there is some beautiful attraction magic going on. I was like, I need to contact this man. And I did that this morning with somebody too, and he called me too.
Kendall Squirrel.
I need to contact all these men. Yeah. It's a man day.
It's a man day. Have fun with that.
I want fun.
So we oftentimes, we put that mask on ourselves. We go, no, I must always be this way. And yes, we put it on for other people, but a lot of times we do it to ourselves. We go like, no, but I liked coffee yesterday, so I have to like coffee today, and I should, we try to be overly stable to the point that we actually we don't know who we are. If we ever did know who we are, we lose who we are because we're going, no, I must, and we try to stay so incredibly stable that we lose self, and we lose the joy, we lose the interesting piece of ourselves, because guess what? That is those different pieces, I'm gonna not cuss. I was like, I'm not gonna cuss on Free Spirit Talks. The cranky you, the goofy you, the angry you, the you that wants to, just like be lazy, all of those pieces of you actually are what make you interesting. And that's what anybody who, I've met people who've tried to be like that perfect person. I actually used to be one of those people years ago. That was like, no, like I must be perfect. Well, that's not freaking interesting. It was boring.
When I first met you,
I was boring AF. I was like,
I was like, is she a robot? She must be a robot.
But no, I was trying to be I was trying to be this person that I wasn't. And yes, that person was a piece of me, but I was losing on all like the fun, interesting quirkiness that. That's not a thing. That's not a thing.
That's not a thing.
That's not a thing.
And so I think is
Not a thing.
if you were great communicators, you wouldn't have intimacy issues.
No, you wouldn't.
You know? So like intimacy stems from good communication, and it's not just speaking words to be speaking words or checking somebody off of your to-do list of, you know, oh, I said good morning to them, or I said hello to them, or I said how's your day, just because, you know, that was it. It really is that you are doing the inquiry of really asking, and it's not just in the asking, but the spending of the time and the sitting and listening.
And the inquiry with self. So there is a relationship person in my life currently, and I have lots of relationships in my life. So
well, somebody's getting
this one person.
Are you talking about me? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, really, but I'm not
so
wanting to.
lame.
Not wanting to be like Kendall Beebe.
The
No.
story is about me.
No, it's actually not.
Kidding.
But
Totally kidding. Kidding.
this person doesn't know self, and so my inquiry, my continual inquiry into one specific area, this person has not done their inner work, so they don't know self.
So they can't answer your
So
questions.
they can't
right?
answer my questions, and they consistently can't answer those questions. And it's like, it
Because
actually is an
it's you're gonna have,
intimacy
like,
breaker. It's
right.
like, well, if you're not going to ever inquire about this topic, or this topic within self, these topics are actually really important to me. And so that actually causes distance in a relationship.
Well, because then you can't have full, complete conversation. You're not really actually
And you don't
meeting
know where
the person.
somebody is.
And
You're like,
because
where?
they don't know where they're at, so they're never going to be able to tell you where they're at. And they also, if they don't even contemplate that being a thing, then they're never going to stop to inquire.
Depth within self has to happen before depth with somebody else can happen.
Yes, most certainly. Most certainly.
And that is the depth of like taking off your freaking masks and looking at yourself, because it is, you know, it's not always fun to look at the pieces of ourselves that we deem our shadow or our you know, negative qualities. But it is important to go, oh yeah, I do that.
And, you know, I think the biggest one, to take off the pieces, the mask with self, is just to give like little pointers. I think that his somebody would be like, well, no, I'm truthful with myself, right? Like, I know myself. I know
None of
those
us
pieces
fully know
myself.
ourselves.
No, none of us fully know ourselves. But how exactly would you go about revealing yourself to yourself, going and starting that inner work without?
Yeah, how do you do it?
All right, so obviously you could hire one of us, like plug. No,
HudsonBell.net, KendallWilliams.com.
So outside of that, no,
Yeah.
it doesn't even have to be that you have to hire
No.
somebody. It really doesn't.
It helps, but
And
it's
it
not.
doesn't even mean that you have to go and read, you know, a whole library worth of self-improvement books, or go to a bunch of Tony Robbins events, or, you know, go and do any of those things. Although all of that is really wonderful. You don't have to start practicing some religion or spiritual practice. You don't even have to deep dive into an hour of meditation every single day. You don't have to do any of that kind of stuff. But what you do have to do is you have to be able to, in my opinion, you have to be able to look into one of these, into a mirror, and you have to be able to actually look at yourself, make eye contact, and be willing, and here's the tough part, be willing to ask yourself, why am I not happy? Why am I not happy? Why am I not satisfied? Why am I not fulfilled in my life? Why am I not feeling desire, passion? Why am I not feeling seen? Why am I not feeling heard? Why am I not connecting? What in me is fearful, blocking this connection to self that has also got me preventing connection with others? And then to also then take, you know, that moment. Yeah, and then write that
journal.
write that stuff down. I almost cussed. Write that stuff down.
I already did. This video can't be used, so.
Write it down, and so that you can't argue it. I mean, that's the biggest thing, because our egos will try to argue what we do not actually have evidence of. So that's the power of writing. Not to mention it accesses different pieces of your brain and opens up different channels for you to actually make those changes. But then I think the next piece is the piece, and I talked about it this morning on Conscious Coffee, but it's a really important piece, and that is stillness. And, you know, and like I said, you don't have to go and join a 10-day Vipassana or something to sit in silence and breathe through your nostrils and practice, you know, consciousness of what nostril to go, which is, again, a beautiful, wonderful, deeply powerful practice. And I encourage people to go do 10 days of Vipassana. But
not necessary.
But it's not necessary to tap in and access self. What is necessary is a good solid 15 minutes a day of just getting out of your house, being outside in nature, quieting your mind, which means to tune into what is going on around you, and then just feel into yourself. Like, let yourself feel that. And I know that a lot of times I give that little piece of homework to different people, and they're like, what? I have to what? I don't know what that means. Like, well, I felt weird doing it. Okay, you felt weird doing it. But what did you actually feel in your body? I don't know what I felt in my body.
You felt weird because it touched on something you were uncomfortable to touch into.
Right.
Which means keep doing it.
Right. Because initially, you feel like you have this void there. There's an emptiness. There's oh my gosh, I don't know this space. That doesn't mean that it's actually a void. It just means that there is a piece of you that you don't know. So guess what? It's time to become Indiana Jones and go on some self-discovery work inward. Sorry. This is like we take on singing.
But also I would say too, I think it's also that is you're correct, like a base level practice, but also even see, I give her a compliment and her head just like blows up. But
if we were good at editing, you could blow my head up.
I could, but I don't want to spend that much time on. I'm not aligned to that today. Authentically, I'm not aligned to that.
We should hire somebody to go in and edit and do those funny little things.
But I think also you learn so much by your relationships. And when I say relationships, I'm not talking intimate. I'm talking any relationship that you learn. Even the person at the grocery store, if they like trigger you, that's a second for you to get really present and breathe in and go, what was that? What was I feeling there? Why did my back come up? Why was I, maybe in another moment, like your heart just feels really open. Like, well, what is that? Like, get really curious with self. But that requires getting present, getting off of these things consistently, getting out of our heads and just being in the moment with other people, which you also were talking about on Conscious Coffee.
Presence is everything. It ultimately is, and it's the thing that we struggle the most with. But without it, we don't know self, and we certainly don't know anybody else. We just, it's presence, awareness, consciousness, whichever word you so choose. It is about being in the moment, in the now, which is what Eckhart Tolle.
Yeah.
Now. Yep. Right
Now.
Get present with
Be
the
now. Be in the now. So,
yeah.
And then get really real with self in the now. Where am I really feeling right now? What do I really want? What do I not want?
And I think also another note on the masks, like revealing and taking off the mask with self, I would say that also means stop hiding behind, things that we use to hide ourselves from. So that might be anything that we might get addicted to. So drugs, alcohol, work, gaming, sex, you name it. Crap, we had a man come to a workshop the other day and he proclaimed that he had like 200 addictions or something over the course of his lifetime.
And
I don't really believe.
We're not going to go into
but I
hate that word.
I don't believe in all these like that. I mean, but the point is that if you have an addictive nature and you put something else in place of your
Just
presence
filling that
level,
hole.
you're just filling that to entertain yourself, to keep yourself blocked from your truth, to keep yourself blocked from who you are. So anything that you put into that void is a blocking tool. It's what we use to dam up that space so that we don't actually reveal ourselves to ourselves or to anybody else.
Yes.
So that's our 10-minute
Awesome. Well, cool. Well, I feel complete.
You feel complete?
Yes. So start doing that work. Get more present. Get quiet with self, and then start getting quiet with others in your life, and begin to take off those masks. Because although it might be a little uncomfortable, in the long run, it is so much more fulfilling. You'll feel more you. You'll have more energy. You'll have more magnetism.
Yeah, you're just going to be more your vitality that you gain from that, because it's draining to fake it so much. It really is. It's draining to fake it. So do you have anything that you want to announce real quick?
So I have pieces that actually goes perfectly along with in the DFW area. If you are a woman and want to get painting with me, we have a expansive art project coming up on November 16th. Go ahead and register. It's all on pieces and embracing all of you. The beauty, the pieces that you see as shadow, the entire...
It's a great project.
Yeah, it's an awesome project.
I know that you did this
I did this
like
last
year,
I think.
Last year or the year before.
It was
and
amazing.
It was a really brilliant, yeah, it was a brilliant project. I mean, it was
beautiful.
really, yeah, pulling in all those pieces. I remember some of the ladies' work from that.
So then I have a
Yes, I
puja
do.
coming up.
You have
You
another
can
puja.
find all that on my calendar at adsandale.net.
Her pujas are awesome. Absolutely awesome. Amazing puja. Was that just last week?
Last week.
There has been so much that's happened. I'm just like, yeah, like that. Yeah.
What's going on with you?
Me, local wise, I have the Quantum Field Tantra that is going on. So I'm teaching a first level certification for that. That's my little tantric magic show where I get to make people do yes, have an orgasm.
Basically. It doesn't work that. Either.
Oh,
sorry.
Well, okay.
Good try.
It was worth a shot. Okay. Well, anyway, we can show you the real deal on
It is
that.
truly amazing. It is
Truly on that.
truly amazing.
There is a video on my website at kendallwilliams.com underneath tantric integration work there. And then what else do I have? I have a satsang coming up.
Yeah.
I have a satsang coming up, and that's early December. And then we have Orgasm Camp coming up in early December, December 7th. So if that's all the Dallas stuff, and probably there's more, I know that I'm missing stuff, but there's a whole bunch of stuff, and I know that we have online stuff that we're in the mix of building and everything. So the biggest recommendation here is hit both of our events calendars at our websites and go
follow,
explore,
share.
because there's stuff for locals. Tons of stuff for locals right now. It is local time of the year.
Yes.
But there's also a whole bunch of stuff that will be coming out, if it hasn't already come out, that is for our global community followers as well. So,
Yep.
There we go.
So,
Good? You
Yep.
good?
adsandale.net.
KendallWilliams.com.
And we'll see you guys in 2 weeks for another free spirit talks. I almost said Ads Unleashed. Another free spirit talks.
every single day at Ads
Unleashed. I heard you doing conscious coffee.
really- See, and I actually most of the time drink coffee or tea, but you do not break out of chains on the front of yours, and you need to get some chains. You need to go Addison Unleashed, or get a collar and unleash yourself as you start it.
You know, that is your desire. You go for it for yourself.
All right, I will do it.
Bye, everybody.
And unleash myself.
I'm going to move this man over to the side.
Okay, bye, man.
Bye, man that we don't know.